Karen Tierney, 29.575 to 27.80, the difference being .775. On the men's side, Lance Ringnald over Jeff Lutz, 38.25 to 36.3, almost 2 points difference between these two gymnasts, but the men have 2 rotations remaining. And you're looking at the parallel bars, an event that's near and dear to you, Bart Connor.
Parallel bars was always the most fun for me. When I was 9 or 10 years old, it just seemed like something I picked up very easily. As opposed to rings and pommel horse, which just about killed me. But look at Lance's mount. He mounts straight in with a plange on the end, peach straddle cut, giant on the end. Look at all this really interesting and unique work on the end. And then he swings into the middle, showing a really nice reverse stutz, back toss. This is a great routine so far. Diamond right to the top. Lance has improved a great deal here at the Winter Nationals. In December here in Denver, he was a little sloppy on this event, but he's just ripping through this routine. And a pike double. Great exercise. That's the best parallel bars I've seen Lance do.
Lance Ringnald is 18 years old. Shows a lot of promise for the U.S. future.
Typical of Lance Ringnald's style. He does every trick in the book in the same exercise. He did a great Diamond front uprise, swing pirouette. He had some really interesting work at the beginning of his exercise, and he is a real star when it comes to dismounts. Pike double back, he pulls that around. One short hop on the landing. A very difficult routine, and probably the cleanest I've ever seen Lance perform it.
And it gets a great score, too. 9.75 for the parallel bar routine of Lance Ringnald. If you are interested in the record, it is held by Phil Cahoy in this meet, 9.85, so the record really was not in jeopardy just yet. Now you're looking at Jeff Lutz. Jeff Lutz, reminding you, had trouble on the pommel horse. He had a severe wrist injury, and we knew that was going to bother him on the pommel horse, and he did have a couple of falls. And your wrist is important here, too, Bart.
Yeah, there's no question this is a similar supporting event like the pommel horse, but there isn't the same kind of twisting element on the parallel bars that you get on the pommel horse. So far, he has shown that when he's straight on top of the support of the wrist, he's not going to have too much pain. This is a good exercise so far. Pike double back, good dismount. He really didn't have a nice flowing routine, though, that we saw from Lance, who really blasted through, showing a lot of strength, but also really nice flowing swing elements. This was a little choppier, although it was still a good exercise.
Do you hold your breath when you're doing the parallel bars?
I don't know that I've ever thought about it, but if you do, I'm sure you'd pass out by the 6th or 7th trick. You got to breathe somewhere in there.
I saw him breathing in the handstand real hard. That's why I asked that. I thought, do you hold your breath for the hard stuff and then...
I think you tend to take your breath when you're in a handstand, when you can relax for a second. But when you're doing a pike double back like that dismount, your mouth is closed. Sometimes even your eyes are closed.
And you're biting your lip, too. So Jeff Lutz waits for the score on the parallel bars. They have just announced it, that it is about 0.2 of a point less than what Lance Ringnald received. 9.55 versus the 9.75 for Lance. One rotation remains for the men, and this is the final rotation now for the women as you look at Karen Tierney. She is challenging Brandy Johnson in this head-to-head format.
Really clean pike double back. Although that wasn't one of the more difficult mounts being done, it was really clean, and that counts for a lot in the judges' minds when they take in consideration the overall presentation, good clean form, and always in control. Whip back through to a double full. Whoops.
The bow fell off her hairdo. Interesting dramatic pause in the music. Nice pirouette.
The typical format for a women's floor routine is they do 2 really hard tumbling passes, and then they dance like crazy, partly to fulfill the dance requirements, but also to catch the breath so they can finish with a big run, as she's going to do here, tuck double back.
Are you trying to tell me that she's breathing? Karen Tierney concludes on a strong note with a fine performance on the floor exercise.
This is a really nice, clean pike double back. She blasts across there. She's moving pretty fast. Round off back handspring. Good lift. Good clean form. Little separation right there. She needs to keep her legs together a little longer before she spreads to open for the landing. The second run was a round off whip, flip-flop through to a double full. The judges are looking for 3 tumbling series. We saw the opening, the second run. Here's the dismount. Tuck double back. She doesn't quite get her arms up quick enough, so you can see she is really cranking that flip, and she does a good job at not allowing her hands to slap down, which of course would have been a major deduction.
The score is 9.5 for Karen Tierney, and unless Brandy Johnson makes some major mistakes, she's going to be the winner of this first round.
Wait till you see this routine. She is so explosive. It's incredible. Watch the power. Pulling pike.
What a move.
There was a 3-element gymnastics series. You saw the 3 leaps in a row. The judges are looking for that. She's got the power. She's got the dance elements. Whip, whip, flip-flop, tuck double.
Another tumbling.
As we mentioned earlier, Brandy really has matured as a competitor. She's having a little more fun with the dance, and yet she can still power across and do some amazing tumbling. Tuck double back, easily done.
And she's smiling now. I like the jazz dancing. Strong finish by Brandy Johnson. All she needs is a 7.75 to win. She'll get that easily.
Think of marylewdretton when you watch this tumbling run. Marylew did a similar pass as well. Round off, back handspring to a full in. Look at the power. She pikes this, keeping her legs straight as she pulls around, and she's so strong she can always put those landings right where she needs them.
Score for Brandy Johnson, 9.
I like this pass because it's good combination work. Round off whip, whip, back handspring, tuck double. She was a little crooked on that tuck double, and yet you'd never know it.
9.90, the score for Brandy Johnson. She is the winner. She has defeated Karen Tierney. We'll be back with more.